Welcome to another edition of City Corner, brought to you by the City of Granbury and Granbury TV. On this program, we will provide you with an inside look at several projects that were on the recent City Council agenda and what the outcomes mean to the citizens. On this edition, we will have a status report on the Opera House renovation project, information on the new dog park, information regarding the new Parks Fund contribution, and much more. First off, joining us is our City Manager, Wayne McCathan. Wayne, thanks so much for joining us and telling us so many different things going on with this upcoming or with this past City Council agenda. First, let's go ahead and discuss the Opera House, something that, of course, has been on many individuals' minds. And for those that missed the last City Council meeting, what new information was presented on the recent progress?
Well, we basically asked Hale Scott of Scott Tucker Construction to come and update. There is a lot of design work continuing to be done. He's just about, what he told us was by Monday of next week he's going to have the first design drawings ready for major components of the construction, and that will be going out to bid soon after that, after they review it, probably a week later. And so that's going to be starting that process. We're making good progress. We even had a committee meeting after the agenda, and we talked about design issues to make sure we're all in sync on that, and it's going well. We're proceeding on.
So after the bid process, tell us a little bit about the future timeline. What does that mean for what the citizens will see in future construction?
Well, we talked about that in the committee meeting, and he indicated that, you know, in the next 6 weeks he plans to get started with some demolition and some structural work, and then our goal is to be through well before Christmas, probably in the November time frame. He seemed very comfortable with that. We haven't announced a final schedule, but the contract calls for a certain period of time when he's allowed to work on it and be done.
Right.
And so that would be in that time frame, assuming everything goes smoothly, which we perceive it is. And he was very pleased with how things are going, as you probably heard in the meeting. So
right.
We are on our way, and we're going to build this thing. So
excellent. Well, everybody is certainly looking forward to that. And well, is there anything else you'd like to add on the Opera House?
Well, no, just this is going to be a beautiful Opera House. We're still in the process of making sure exactly how much we can do. We have it designed to be a fully functional Opera House. Even the most ardent supporters have said, wow, we build this will be a destination Opera House. And with other opera houses and regional theaters having trouble, we could be the last standing. I mean, we could basically have a destination that is not anywhere else. Right. And that would be very advantageous for Granbury to attract people from the Metroplex and to help in our tourism.
Right.
So
absolutely.
We're looking at that. We're gonna make this happen, and we're excited about it.
Definitely. Well, everybody is looking forward to that, and it's no doubt it's going to be a beautiful facility when it's all done. And you know, it's definitely being built for the future. So
it is.
You know, everybody is certainly looking forward to that and the progress, and for future reports. And I know we'll talk about that on upcoming editions and segments. Well, let's also talk about something that was on the recent City Council agenda, and that was the ability for citizens to make an additional contribution to the Parks Fund. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Absolutely. This came from a citizen who is very supportive of the parks. And we have a lot of those. We have a lot of people who love the parks. As you can see from my office, many times the people that utilize our parks are just phenomenal. So we get a lot of positive response from that. And so when they came up with a suggestion, look, we want to give more to the parks. We really think it's important. Parks are an important part of the city. And we agree with that.
Definitely.
And so we like green space. And so I said, well, I forwarded that response or that request from a citizen that, and therefore I forwarded it to the Parks Board. It was well received at the Parks Board. It was a unanimous saying, we love that idea. We want the citizens to be involved in the parks. We want them to have a lot of input on the parks, and they have. We're making some improvements to our parks today that are from recommendations from citizens, and so the dog park was one of them, and the skateboard park was one of those. And so they're having a lot of input into what type of activities they like and what type of parks they want. So here's their opportunity on their utility bill. Each month you're going to have the opportunity to say, right now you can give 50 cents. Now you will have the option to say whatever you want to give, $5, $10, $50, you name it. You could put the dollar amount on it, will take it, be added to your bill each month, and you can have a regular contribution and a record that you've donated to the parks.
Specifically to the Parks Fund.
To the Parks Fund. And that's how that money will be used. And we're excited about that because, you know, the funding is always somewhat of a burden, you know, and if we can have that money, you know, for the city, it is a burden, and so the citizens can help out, we can have more parks, and everybody wins.
Help name Granbury's new dog park. For more information on how to vote, visit granbury.org or stop by the Visitor Center.
And finally joining us is our Parks Superintendent, Aaron McLean.
The dog park was approved in this last year's budget. They approved $20,000 to build a dog park. The idea kind of came from some Parks Board members who are dog owners and had an interest in having a dog park in Granbury. It will be our first dog park. So we found a piece of land that really wasn't used for anything else over on Moore Street by our baseball complex, and also had access from our hike and bike trail. So we built, of course, chain link fence, 6-foot chain link fence, and it's actually sectioned off into 4 sections. So you'll have 2 areas for small dogs and 2 areas for large dogs. We're having, of course, with your help, we're having a contest to try to find the name for this dog park. So you can actually submit names either online or in person at the conference center. Or excuse me, the Visitor Center.
Visitor Center,
yes.
Right. Right inside City Hall.
Right. And that contest ends March 8th. So we hope to have a name for the dog park for the grand opening on April 20th.
Definitely.
So that's going to be the public's input, and then of course council will vote on that name. So hopefully get some input from the public, and they'll have a feel that they had something to do with the dog park.
Absolutely.
By naming it.
Well, we're really excited about that, and I know the citizens are too. Lots of dog owners, dog lovers out there. And with the 4 sections, tell us a little bit about how the 2 sections will rotate. I know there's like a shaded area, and you also want to have some time for the grass to grow and kind of replenish itself. So tell us a little bit about that thought process.
Well, like I said, we have access. You can either drive your car to the site and park in the parking lot, and then you'll have a shaded area for small dogs or large dogs. And the way they determine large or small, doing some research, it's usually 25 pounds and under considered a small dog, and then of course over that is a large dog. So certain times of the year, say this time of year, you may not want to have a dog in the shady area. You may want to be in the sunny area, and that is accessible through the hike and bike trail.
That's great.
And of course, our 2 or 3 months we've been working on the dog park, we realized how many people are walking their dogs on the hike and bike trail. So
absolutely,
it'll actually be used a lot from just people using the trail.
Definitely. And another thing, I mean, if people go out there right now, out on Moore Street where the dog park's going to be, tell us a little bit about what people will see. The chain link fences up. What else will be in there? Will there be benches, trees, water fixtures? What else will the public see on that grand opening day?
Of course, all the fencing is up, and then all the 4 entrances are double gated for security. You notice you enter the dog in the first gate, close the gate behind you, then you would access the dog park. So you don't have any dogs getting off the leash or they're off the leash escaping.
Right.
And right now, all the fencing is completed. We have some old fire hydrants that we have installed in the dog parks. We've got some tubing, some concrete gutters that we've installed for the dogs to either run through or climb on, and also some platforms that have been installed.
That'll be fun for them.
Yeah. We've got lighting installed, and then we've got water access to water, and we should be finishing that up by next week.
Great.
So we should really be through with everything except the signage. Say by the end of next week.
Waiting on that name.
That's right.
And the community's got to get involved and submit us all of their names, and we'll be culling all of those together, and the Parks Board will be sorting through those and submitting those to council. So got to be waiting on that final name, and we're all excited about that.
Right.
Well, remind us what the hours of this park will be, and also some tips, for the citizens to know, vaccinations and tags and all of those good things. What are some good reminders for the citizens to know before visiting the dog park on April 20th?
All right, well, the dog park will be open from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. And like I say, we will have lighting for this time of year when it gets dark earlier. And the rules and regs that we're waiting on, that we've had approved, they're waiting on the sign company to finish the signage. We'll talk about requirement of vaccinations, no aggressive dogs, and dogs are supposed to be under voice command at all times, which means you can't just take a dog and let him loose who's going to be harassing all the other dogs or dog owners. We want it to be a place where people can go and let their dogs run and play, but not have a dog that's just jumping up on people that are in there with their dogs. So it's, we're going to try to make it safe for everyone, and a place where they can go and enjoy time with their dogs. And this is our first dog park. Had never built a dog park, but through all the research, I found out that it is really a place where people go and socialize. Dog owners go and visit, talk about things going on and their dogs. So you want them to have a good time as well.
Absolutely.
Not have a dog running around that's out of control.
Definitely. Well, as we wrap up, is there anything else that you would like to add in concerns of the dog park?
Just urge everybody to vote on a name. I would give you my name, but I'm going to save that for my kids to submit.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Yep. We definitely want all of those names, and as you mentioned, Granbury.org. You can go right on the home page, and that'll take you to a form, and you can go and submit that, and it'll just take you a couple of seconds. We want you to be creative and submit us a great, unique name. And then also, if you don't have access to the internet, you can always stop by City Hall, the Visitor Center at 116 West Bridge Street, and fill out a form right there. So, well, thank you so much, Aaron. We appreciate all of that great information. I know everybody is certainly looking forward to the grand opening of our new dog park. Thank you for joining us on this edition of City Corner.